Hey everyone, it's Jess. Welcome back to my garden for another video. So today we're going to be doing some work in my backyard shade garden. We are finally going to be getting my drip system all hooked up and ready to go for the season. I did my trenching project over a month ago and we have not even tested out the drip yet, and it's starting to warm up here. So we are going to be setting up a new hose reel that I've been sent out, which I cannot wait to share with you guys. And then two, we're going to be hooking up all of the connections over here. I'm going to walk you guys through my process. I've had a lot of questions on how I set up my drip, and it's super easy, you guys. So let's go ahead and get to work. All right, so if you all are new to my channel and have not been following along, we did do a huge trenching project earlier this spring. So we basically ran a trench from the gate. It runs all the way down the side of the fence here. It stops right at my hose and it elbows across my grass here. As you guys can see, this is where we trenched. It's trying to grow back in, barely, but it trenches all the way across. We have water that runs to my shed here, and then it also elbows all the way up underneath my fence to connect to the beds all the way by the street in my front yard. So what we're going to be doing today is we are finally going to be hooking up the faucet. The faucet is installed. I'm going to show you guys all the connections I use in order to get the drip line hooked up. We also are going to be installing a new reel back here, which I'm really excited about. And yeah, it should be a fun project. Let's go ahead and unbox the reel first, and then I'll show you guys all the connections. So we are in my new shed. We are going to be filming in here today. I am so sorry about the echo, but I was sent out this package from VEVOR about a month ago, and I'm so excited to get this open and installed. Let's go ahead and unbox it, and I'll give you some information about the reel. I'm so excited to get this open. So I've actually been working with this company for the past few years or so, and all of their products, such good quality. I highly recommend. So this is called their retractable hose reel. This one is 100 feet long. So first up we have a 9 pattern nozzle, which I think all of their hose reels come with this nozzle. Love, love, love that I have this, and it's very, very comfortable. Ooh. This has like a nice rubber grip to the front. The back part is plastic, but the rubber grip, really comfortable, really nice. I like that. And then we've got the mounting hardware here. And let's see, instruction manual. Ooh. Okay, so I was really worried about what color this was going to be because all of my hose reels around my property are a lighter color to kind of match the side of my house and my fence. I was really worried this was going to be like a dark charcoal gray, but it's a nice light gray. Let me go ahead and get it out of the box. Stick the box off to the side. Ooh, she's big, y'all. Wow, I don't think my other one was this tall. This is really pretty. I love it. Okay. Oh, and I also like that the hosing is black, so that will match my drip line perfectly. Okay. So, again, as I mentioned, this is a hose reel. It is retractable. You can mount this to the side of your house or to a post. I'm actually going to be swapping out the one that they sent me a few years back. Because this is a longer hose length. So this one is a 5/8 hose, and it's 100 feet long, y'all. So this will stretch all the way to my front yard garden if I wanted to. So yeah, let's just go ahead and take this out, get it hooked up, and I'll give you guys a demonstration on how this works. I am so excited about this. This is really, really nice. Oh, and it has the same, oh yeah, I might not have to install a new bracket because it has the same kind of mounting system here. That's, oh wait, here we go. Knew I was forgetting something. This is the bracket that it comes with. This is nice because it's metal. This is actually going to be stronger than the one that I have. This is awesome because the one I have on my current one is plastic. So let's go ahead and get it set up. Okay, y'all, slight change in plans. I've actually decided I want to go ahead and swap out the hose reel I have on this side of my house. This is my east side shade garden. I was sent this hose reel, I think last year or the year before, from Giraffe Tools. This one is only 50 feet long, so I prefer to have 100 feet. So that way I can stretch all the way to the front, all the way to the back if I need to. So go ahead and get this one unhooked. We'll get the new one hooked up, and I'll give you guys a step-by-step on how to set up the drip line. Okay, so to remove the hose reel off the mount, it's super easy. If you ever want to bring it in over the winter to store it, you just lift. It has a nice lift handle here, and then you just lift this little pole and slide it upward. Right, and then you just slide this off, and it's dismantled. All right, now that I've got the hose reel removed, I'm going to go ahead and take off the bolts from the post, get the new bracket installed, and we'll get the new one hooked up. Mount is removed, finally. Next, let's see if these holes match up. I'm hoping that they do. Not exactly. So the holes on this one are a little bit, let's see. I think I'm gonna have to drill new holes a little bit higher up. It's on there. Okay. All right, hard part is done. It actually went a lot smoother than I thought it was going to be. Like last year, it took me forever to get these bolts in, but with the socket wrench, smooth as butter. Okay, let's go ahead and get it mounted. Make sure that the holes are lined up, and then just this slides right in. There we go. Okay. All right, new hose reel is mounted. As you can see, it does a full 180-degree swivel, so I can water in any direction that I want it to, and I love that it's high enough to reach over my AC unit if I'm watering in the backyard. So I'm going to give this a slight pull. It does have a little sticker on here on the top that says, pull out the hose approximately 2 to 4 inches to unlock the reel. Please do not tug the hose continuously or the hose will not be unlocked. I'm going to give it a slight little tug here. Oh, and it does lock back into place. Okay, and it locks back into place nicely. Let's get it to go back in. And I love that it has this nice stopper to keep the entire thing from sucking back into the reel. Let's get all this sticker stuff taken off. All right, so now that we've got the hose reel assembled, I'm going to try to explain this as simple as I can for y'all. So from my spigot here, I am going to go ahead and attach a Y splitter. Let me show y'all what that looks like. So here's what the Y looks like. So this top part will attach to my spigot, and I'll have access to connect my hose reel here. Here is the tube here that's going to connect to, so I'll be able to use my hose reel for watering. And then on this side, I'm going to attach my drip. I'm going to go ahead and attach the Y first just to make sure that the washer in here is good. If not, we'll need to switch that out so there's no leaks. Washer is good, no leaks. So the next step is super simple, y'all. I use an orbit timer, and I'm going to go ahead and hook that up to the left side, and then my hose reel I'm going to hook up to the right side. All right, so here is the timer that I use here. I've already got all of the lines connected because this is the same one I use every single year. I'm just going to attach this to this side, and let me make sure that this is cleaned out. Looks pretty good. All right, so let's get this hooked up on this side. Oh, might need my gloves for this. All right, drip side is on. The last thing I'm gonna do is attach my hose. Get this untied. Oh, perfect. Another twist tie. I need these. Got a fresh washer in here. All right, so we've got the connection. So now on the right side, I can use my hose reel. The left side, I can run my drip. I'm gonna go ahead and test for leaks first, and then I'll explain the drip part. All right, so let me explain my drip line setup here. So you guys can see right here, I have a line of poly black 1/2 inch tubing. This line runs all along the back side of my house, underneath my fence to connect to water my beds in the back. That is my distribution line. And then I have the same thing right here. This line runs all the way along the back side of my house, behind my trash cans, and distributes the water all the way down to the beds by the street. So what I need to do now is connect the two lines together so that it's one circuit. So I'm actually going to make a snip into my line here, insert a T-coupler, which looks just like this. And that way I can connect my line going this way, my line going that way, and then the line to the timer. I'll give you guys a visual. I'll make a snip here. I'm going to insert the T on this line. Also going to snip this down to insert the T on this side. So let me make sure this is going to fit first. I need to cut this down. This, actually no. I think it should work. So let's go ahead, attach the top line. Right, that is connected. And then lastly, I need to connect this side. About here. I always make sure to leave myself extra just in case I need to make modifications. This is why. And it's all connected. Hopefully now you guys can see I have a continuous line going all along the back side of my house, and it now connects to my timer. Now, I am going to give you guys an explanation of to what is connected to this timer when we set up the backyard beds. Look at Jaxley enjoying the shade under the tree. So cute. All right, y'all, let's test it out. So we've got shower. Got to get all the air out of the line first. Nice. Ooh, I like the spray on that too. It's really nice. We've also got fan. Nice vertical fan spray. Cone. Center. Jet. A nice mist. Flood. This would be equivalent to a soaker setting if you have a different brand. Flat. Angle, and back to shower. I am so happy with this. All right, so the last thing I want to demonstrate to you guys is how far can I reach with this hose. Let's see how far in the backyard I can go. Okay, y'all, so once you pull the hose all the way out, you'll see a yellow piece of tape that says stop. This is as far as the hose will stretch. So let's go to the backyard and see what type of coverage I got. Wow, y'all, I have made it all the way to the back corner of my backyard. So this is as far as it goes. It goes right at the back of my bench here. And let's see, what are we on? Awesome sauce! Oh my gosh, y'all. I no longer have to attach a second hose to reach all the way back here if I wanted to. Now, yes, granted, I have a hose reel right over here to my right. As you guys can see, this one is also 100 feet. So this is awesome, you guys. Look how far this has stretched. I am all the way through my back gate, across the yard, and up the side of my house. This is phenomenal. I can even reach back here to water my little pedestal planter. This is awesome. Thank you again, VEVOR, for sending this out to me. All right, y'all, so now we're in the backyard. We are going to work on getting the drip hooked up to all of the beds I need to run back here. I have already gone ahead and mounted my faucet and connected it to my drip system. So what we're going to do first is I want to put a little small bracket to hold the pipe in place onto the post, and then we'll get all of the drip components hooked up. Okay, y'all, so I'm going to try to explain my drip setup as simple as possible, you guys. I get a lot of questions on how to set up drip. It is so easy, y'all. I know it seems intimidating, but trust me, after this, you'll be ready to do it yourself. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is head to your hardware store and pick up 3 pieces: your backflow preventer, your pressure regulator, and your adapter. I prefer to go to Home Depot and get this kit. Literally, this has everything in it that you need, you guys. It's by Rainbird. I believe Lowe's carries it as well. You can check your other hardware stores like Tractor Supply, Harbor Freight. I think most of them carry Rainbird pieces. You also get this on Amazon, but this little kit has everything in it that you need. Now, you, of course, can also go to Home Depot and Lowe's and buy each of these pieces individually if you prefer, but I'm going to walk you through how these are set up and what they're used for. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need before you hook up anything to your house is a backflow preventer. You don't want anything getting back up into your house lines, clogging up your plumbing. So here's what the backflow preventer looks like. As you guys can see, it does have a small little mesh grid in the top here, if you can see that. This is just a washer. Let me see if I can pop it out for y'all to show you. Because again, you can get all of these pieces separately. And if your washer ever goes bad, which they will do, you will have to replace them. But this is what the washer looks like. It does have a concave outward piece here that is a mesh grid. This piece of mesh prevents all the little particles from getting back into your line. So you just pop it in the top just like this, and you want it dome side facing upward. So the dome goes like this inside the little backflow preventer. So this is the first piece. Next, you want a pressure regulator. You don't want your lines, all the water pressure blowing your tubing apart. So this is what the pressure regulator looks like. It's a tall, slender piece. This one is a 25 psi pressure regulator. So you're just going to attach this to the bottom of the backflow preventer. Just screws on just like that. Super simple. And y'all can see here, this is for a 3/4 inch size hose, and it's a 25 psi. They do have different psis, so you get whatever works for your home. The last piece you're going to need is an adapter to be able to adapt your hose down to your poly drip tubing. So my hose is a 5/8 inch size hose. The distribution line that I use is a 1/2 inch. So here's what the adapter looks like. As you can see, it has a nice little barbed end down here on the bottom. This is the piece that's going to pop into your distribution line. So you just attach this onto the bottom of the pressure regulator. And again, all these pieces just screw on. So easy, you guys. And this is what your completed piece should look like. Okay, y'all, this is it. This is all that you need, other than a timer if you want to use a timer, and then of course your drip tube. So your timer will attach to the top of this, and then your drip tube will attach to the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up. I'm actually not going to be using a timer on this back one because I have the timer on my faucet, which I'll show you guys as well. So we are going to be attaching a Y splitter to the faucet. So the faucet, and this is my water faucet where you turn the water on. This goes in the bottom. And then on one side, I'm going to attach the actual backflow preventer. Again, mesh dome side up. And then on this side, I'm going to attach my hose reel. Easy as that, y'all. Like, this is it. This is all I'm going to attach to the faucet. So let's go ahead and get it hooked up. All right, so I'm going to show you guys my simple setup first, and then I'll kind of explain the difference that I have for the type of irrigation system that I have set up. So If you are doing this at home, you are going to need a faucet, which should already be on the side of your house, a Y connector, or if you don't need a Y connector, you can hook it up directly to this. So basically, instead of screwing on the Y, you would just screw the backflow preventer directly to your faucet, just like this. And then attach your drip line to the bottom. I want to use my hose reel here as well as have access to drip. So I'm going to be putting on a Y. So the Y is going to go on just like this. Let me make sure I have a washer in here first. Yep, good to go there. Make sure it's on nice and tight. All right, and then next I'm going to have my hose attached on one side. So I think I want my hose to go on this side. Make sure there's nothing in there. All right, so that will give me access to be able to use this hose reel if I want to. The drip side is going to be where I hook up all of my garden beds. So again, we have the contraption that we just set up. This is going to attach directly to the Y. Make sure this is on off. Make sure everything's on nice and tight. And then all I have to do now is attach my drip tube to the bottom of this, which I think, let me use that extra piece of black that I just cut off. All right, so next I'm going to go ahead and attach my black poly. Here is the black poly I'm going to be using. This is my distribution line. There are no holes on this. This is just going to be used to distribute the water to the beds. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the bottom. And it has been sitting in the sun, so it's nice and warm and easy to get on, hopefully. There we go. And then the next step is optional. You can put a clamp on here just to make sure nothing pops off. I personally have never had that issue in all the 7 years that I've been using this drip line, so I will not be doing that. So what I'm going to do next is work on getting this ran through the back of my bed here. So I'm actually going to do the same thing that we did on the other side. I'm going to make a cut here, insert a T-coupler so that I can run the drip line that way and this way. Right. And I actually want this to go back behind my post here. So I'm going to wind this through. Okay. There we go. So we've got drip line going that way, and then I can attach drip line going out to this way. All right, y'all. So I went ahead and did a little bit of reconfiguring off camera just to get my thoughts in place. So I actually decided it would be easier for me to have the drip on the left side and the hose reel on the right. So I swapped my connections. I also kind of winded around here just to get the cord out of the way. This down here will be buried underlined. So I just need to come in and finish burying this trench to cover that. But let me explain what I did back here. So this brown poly drip tubing does have emitters every 18 inches. That is already wound throughout my entire backyard in this back corner to distribute water to my beds. So I thought it was easier to go ahead and just connect that to the distribution line. There was no need to run a whole nother line behind my fence line here when I already have it wound. So I just connected the distribution line. I did put in a T there to be able to run the line all the way down the back fence line here so that we'll have access to hook up all of these plants on drip when I'm ready. And then I just ran a short little line here, put in an elbow for it to connect back up here, and then we are ready to rock and roll. I can finally turn on this faucet, see how this works. I'm so excited about it. Let's do it. So that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope seeing the process visually on how I actually set up my drip lines was helpful. I hope the explanation made sense. If you guys have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'll be happy to help. If you all are interested in purchasing the hose reel, I'll also have a special discount code down in the description box. Thank you again to VEVOR for sending out this amazing hose reel. I'm so excited to use it. I hope you all are inspired. Leave me a comment down below, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.